Hey guys, so how do we connect to our intuition? We need to be conscious of it in order to be able to connect at any given moment. Really, we want to be able to connect to our intuition at will to get the answers we need in the moment. Hi, I'm Joanne Moore, and welcome to my Facebook page. Today, we're talking about intuition and how we connect to it. So, when we're conscious of something and can actually do it at will, then we have the power to use it. It's a tool that's actually in our toolbox and that's useful. When we connect to our intuition, but kind of spontaneously in the spur of the moment, or it kind of hits us over the head, the universe has to yell really loudly to get our attention, or it has to be really obvious. But if we know how we connect personally, because it's going to be a little bit different for everybody, then we have the power to use the tool. So intuition is a tool. It's part of us. It's like having a hand or a leg or, or glasses. As long as we know how to use them, then they can be of use. So I get asked all the time, how do I get answers in the moment? How do I know right now what the answer is? So the first step is being conscious of how you connect to your intuition. So for me personally, I connect through a deep breath. Literally anytime I just go, I step out of the way. I feel that energy flowing through me, and I know in that moment I'm connected to the universe. It's really simple. Now, I'm sure that you've heard lots of people say, oh, you need to meditate, and you need to have some incense, or you need to have something going on. You need to, it's this process. Now, I know professional intuitives who have a process to connect to their intuition, because we're maybe a little bit more open. We're expanding our field of energy a little bit bigger. But it doesn't have to be difficult. It can literally be as easy as taking a breath. Now, sometimes I need to close my eyes because I am very visual and I get distracted by all that's going on out in the world. But if I close my eyes, take a deep breath, I'm open to the universe. Now, am I always going to get the answer that I want in that moment? No. I may not. Sometimes we get the answer, we just don't like the answer. So you also need to be conscious of how you connect and then be open for the answer. So that's another video. But today we're talking about how you connect to the universe and your intuition. Now, often the universe uses our body, our 5 human senses, to tell us or give us messages, send us messages. So this is really important to be aware of your body. So a lot of people I know have to get grounded. Most people I know, you're either a flyer or a burrower. So in times of stress or unease, people either fly, that's me. So it feels like I leave my body. I'm not quite connected to the earth. I'm not solid like that. Other people I know ground, so they burrow, so they will find a corner. You're more likely to, in times of stress, you may be covered in blankets. My children are burrowers. Both of them are burrowers. And so just be aware of what your need is. Maybe if in times of stress you burrow, you need to take a deep breath, open up your shoulders. And I always imagine that my wings are expanding. So if I was an angel and I had wings, there we go. Now I'm connected to the universe. Now, if you're a flyer like me, I need to get grounded. I need to imagine tree roots through my feet, out into the earth, dug down deep and wide. Then I'm planted. Okay, now I am the vessel for that energy to flow through. All it is, intuition is simply the intentional connection to the energy around us. That's it. It's like we're fish without knowing that we're wet. So all the information is in the ocean. We just don't realize that it's that close. It's always there. It's simply a matter of connecting and allowing that energy, allowing that wisdom and information to flow through us so that we can get what's called an intuitive hit, right? So it's simply opening up. So anything that you have to do to open up, to get you, your humanness, kind of stepping to the side, and then allow whatever comes through to come through. Now, this is going to happen also. Why would you want to be able to connect so quickly? First of all, maybe you're going to work and, you know, like, oh, I kind of have this feeling that I shouldn't be going my regular route. So you kind of want to expand on that. Maybe the question is, well, okay, there's a stoplight coming up. Should I go right or left? Right? So that's an intuitive question. You want an intuitive hit or answer. So you're going to allow yourself, your humanness, your thinking head to get out of the way so that you can get whatever answer comes up. Now, your humanness, your mind might be going, what are you, freaking crazy? If I turn right, it's like 5 extra blocks or 10 minutes more. If your intuition says turn right, follow your intuition. Now, one of the other reasons we might want an intuitive hit in the moment is, should I participate? Maybe it's you're being offered to volunteer in a group. Maybe you're being asked for, or you want, at work they're asking if you want to join this project or that project. And you need, like, right now we need the answers. This is where you do this, okay? Now, it takes practice. Like I said, it's simple, right? But not always easy, because our humanness, our thinking head gets in the way. And in those moments, we muddle up all the signals from the universe. Everything gets topsy-turvy and the gerbil wheel keeps going. It takes practice. It didn't come to me overnight that I was able to connect to my intuition with a deep breath. It took some practice. It took me doing some readings. It took me practicing with my oracle cards. It takes practice. Now, as I always say, you want to start with baby steps, little steps. You don't want to ask your intuition the first day out, should I marry Frank? This is not the good question to start with. You want to start with, should I have chicken or beef for dinner? Should I call Teresa today? Oh yeah, okay, that feels good. I don't even know where that idea came from. I'm gonna follow through with it. So you want to start with baby steps, with things and questions that you are not emotionally attached to. This is really important, because the minute our, monkey brain gets in the way and thinks that it's important and it needs to have a say in it, it's going to jump right in. But the more you practice with getting out of your own way with stuff that doesn't really make a huge difference in your life, when it comes to the big questions, you will know when your brain's getting in the way rather than just your intuitive hits and your intuitive motions, okay? So the more you practice, the better you get. The more you practice, the faster you get. And the more you practice, the easier the big questions come, okay? So another day we'll talk about clarity of questions and all that kind of good stuff. But today I just wanted to let's bring our consciousness into how we connect to the universe. This is really important, because you want to know how you connect so that you're able to do it in the moment and get some answers. Okay, so if anybody has a question, put it in the side here. And oh, hey guys, thank you for joining and for hanging out this morning with me. This came to me last night as a download, right? A universal download about that this was just an important topic to talk about, because I know we talk a lot about intuition and I want to bring more light. My passion is bringing intuition into everyday conversation so that this is a normal conversation we have, and that soon when we ask our kids about what subjects they're taking next year, as mine are choosing right now, then it's not even a question of what do you think, but how do you feel? What's your gut telling you that you should take? And then we have there's also some methodical kind of thinking in it as well. However, our first reaction is, how do you feel about it? What's your feeling on this one? What's your gut say? Okay. How do I get okay, just a second. Carol's asking, let me just push them more. How do I get my head out of the way? Yeah, practice, practice, practice. And when you practice tuning into your intuition, you will notice the subtlety of when your monkey brain is getting in the way. So that it becomes noticeable, right? So it's kind of like when we're angry and we know, we kind of all of a sudden get this like feeling, I'm not angry about what I'm yelling about. It's like, oh, yeah, it's me, not them. Or it's, you know, there's something else that's triggered it. You can feel the difference between I'm really upset about what's going on in the moment right now, rather than I'm upset because I'm just being in that mood or whatever, right? So there's that subtle distinctions. The more you practice, the more you will notice the subtleties. The more you will know. So it's all about practice, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about practice. One idea for practicing is you can keep an intuitive journal, because your brain, your head, your humanness wants proof that it works, because it's not getting on board. It is not going to get on board until you can prove that this is in your best interest, or you can prove that this is actually working. Because all this woo-woo fairy stuff, right? That's all this magic, which is wonderful, but our adult humanness, no, it wants proof. So if you keep an intuitive journal, like, you know, I noticed that today on my way to work, I turned right instead of left. And I ran into this great guy in the elevator, and I felt, you know, by the time I got to my floor at work, I felt fantastic. And then I was, you know what I mean? Like it snowballed. Or, you know, like, oh, I was thinking about Teresa today, and then boom, she calls me out of the blue, right? That's an intuitive hit. Okay. So keep a journal of your intuitive hits and how they work, and start to notice. You can journal about how you connect. It will evolve over time. You'll get faster, you'll get easier, and it'll get a little bit louder in the beginning if you ask for them to turn up the volume. Okay, guys, that's all the time I have this morning, but thank you so much for being here, and stick around to Joanne Moore and .ca on my business Facebook page, because we do stuff like this all the time. So I'd love to hear from you. Any ahas, anything during this week that comes up for you as you practice connecting to your intuition. Mwah! Have a fantastic day, guys.